Look at the time-space waves. It just trickles upwards. Like all the time, all the experiences, all the memories just trickle upwards. Just trickles upwards. So this is what I mean about the development of chronocosmonomy. Because you have this, it's like it's like a treasure chest. It's like a puzzle. It's like something where it's a riddle where you have clues. You find clues. It's it's a treasure hunt, like a Easter egg hunt, or you looking around and you find things, but it takes time. You have to go on this whole journey. It's a quest. It's a quest. Look at the curve of it. It like goes here and then straightens and then curves. It's going to curve back that way again. So it's a wave. It's a wave. It's slightly abstract, but I've been trying to find out if physically the shape of it is something according to, and I'm working on that still because that's the more difficult side of it. But the abstract permutation up up is very key. It follows pretty strict rules. I mean, it's not absolute because in the sense that sometimes with an astronomical event, you wonder if like, okay, what's the cutting off point? What's the gray area? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it or isn't it? On or off or in between? Where do you say it switches from on to off? Just like the 0 to the 1, 0 to the 1. Basically, like that they do this a lot with quantum physics. They do this a lot with atoms and electrons. When the thing is with the particles or forces at work, energies are like they're either what are they called? I'm sorry, I forget the words. Like I'm just so forgetful. But you've got not gluons. You've got muons. You've got what are the particles? Like go beep 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 boop on off on off. So within the shell, within the atomic shell, you've got it. You got it sometimes negative, sometimes positive. So you'll have it, and it'll be like three. It'll be three. I wrote it down in the book, right? I got all the notes. So the thing is, astronomy or a lot of other things in science are kind of like that because it depends on when you're actually observing, and then you want to know, well, what's the rate of the time it changes? Like it goes like in a split second, and sometimes it switches in a month. Sometimes it switches in a year. So when it has to do with astronomical cycles, which sometimes they're a lot bigger, because when you get smaller and smaller and smaller, your time scale also gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're like splitting seconds, like a hair. You're splitting a hair, like down to like the Planck length. Is there a Planck length of time? Well, they've already have started. I think the first question, the first premise was, is there a Planck length of a measurement of space? And then they were like, they do like all the way down to like subatomic, quantum, like Higgs boson level. Like, what is the length of a Higgs boson? Like, what's the Planck length? So it's like the scales. So it's just like with scales of space, there's scales of time. What is on and what is off? Where's the cutoff point when you reach like a level of? It's not exactly with that, but it's the same sort of idea where do you make the division to say, where it's just built up to like take for example the main thing that we have is that phases of the moon. Lunar phases will be like, you know, I call old moon. Old moon to then the next instant new moon. And by the way, we are right now in the new moon phase. If you look right now at, I don't know if you can see. don't know if you can see the moon, the sun and the moon there. You should be able to see it. Like, so now if I get the right angle, you're gonna have you have the sun there, and the moon is just to the left side of the sun right now. Right now, this very instant. I don't know if you can see it. The sun is over there in the sky at that about that angle. It's like we're getting closer to equinox, but we're not quite to equinox. And sometime about 5 or 6 hours ago, according to this location, the angle, and it doesn't change that much throughout the Earth, but it's within a few minutes, wherever you are on the Earth. And by the way, when the actual alignment of the sun and the moon to change phase, the actual alignment, it only occurs on one side of the Earth, in a one section. On the other side, it's going to get it later, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to be in the sky, but if you're on the eastern edge, you're going to get it at a certain time. And if you're on the western edge, you're going to get it at a certain time. But if you're right in the center and it's overhead, that's the exact moment. But all those other edges during that exact moment, the ones that are facing there, they're going to see it, but it's going to be at a different, slightly different angle, very slightly different angle because of the line of sight. So does the phase of the moon have to do with the line of sight? Yes, slightly. So that the time is a range, but it is very much like exact. It's not like hours. It's not like a full day. Like when you look at the calendar, you just basically take it in chunks of a day at a time. It's like day chunks. I like that word. Day chunk. Then week chunk. Month chunk. But when the actual thing of the moon, the phase of the moon happens, it's not an entire day chunk. It's actually just within the hour. So it makes a big difference if that hour takes place at 12:30 a.m. or if it takes place at 11:30 p.m. because there's like a 23-hour difference. There's a range that the actual new moon can occur. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like exactitude, right? So that also has to do with eclipses. Eclipses. E, e, anyhow, eclipses are either solar or lunar. And that is what we've got going on over here. Solar, lunar. Solar's over here, lunar's over here. So, and not by, yeah, I have to explain to you all the specifics of this, and it's very hard to do just in a rambling video like this. But if you look at it, if you take the class, if you buy it, you have to basically have the book. You have to. This is about, but you got to buy it. Well, of course. Listen, if you're in college and you're gonna do this level of study, this kind of advanced education, uh, have you ever bought the? I used to work in a bookstore, by the way. I worked at a college bookstore multiple times, and when I've worked there, I see the kids lining up, and I'm just saying not just kids, but students and also teachers. You got teachers, they're the adults, and students are the kids. Sometimes their age difference can switch back and forth. But I'd seen everybody coming in that needs books for their classes in order to learn, in order to do their knowledge and have their education. So they get their books. And I saw them like that. See what that is? Moolah. A lot of money. Books aren't cheap. Nothing is cheap these days, right? So you need to get the book. You're not just going to know this from listening to a video. You're going to get a little something, but if you're really serious, you're going to watch this and then you're going to be inspired. You're going to be motivated. You're going to be like, I need to know this. So get the app. There's several apps for this. There's an animation app and there's a planning app, a scheduling app. Then there's the study of it. And if you pass that test, you can be a practitioner of it. You can consult with this. But that takes a long time. Just like I'm saying, sometimes things happen in life and it takes a long time for you to realize you got to eat it. No, it just takes you a long time to realize like what's the importance of it. So one example I'm going to give you is this movie Luna, which I don't know if it has to do with Luna, but it must have to do with it. It's got to have to do with it. But I was like pretty sure I discovered the movie in the last couple days. I was doing some research and I discovered like the movie came up from doing like indirectly. I wasn't searching for anything about a movie. I wasn't even looking for a movie. But then it came up and I clicked on I was like I looked into that. It's like it sent me on a sidetrack, you know? It's like like not what I was looking for, but then I went to it. And when I got there, I was like, "Oh, a Luna?" And then I saw it and I was like, "This reminds me of something." And lo and behold, I'm pretty sure right now, I haven't verified it, but almost 100% sure that this thing that I studied right before the new moon, right, like this, and it was a weekend, happened to be a secular calendar, Julian Gregorian weekend, and it was like, did it happen on Sunday or Saturday night? But in any case, right about then, in the last 24 to 36 hours, the a Luna movie was like there, and I when I saw, it, I was like, wait, is that's I've known about that before, and I'm going to include the link to what I'm talking about. And it took me that long to realize this is more important than originally what I thought it was. Because originally when I got this, it was a year or 2 years or 3 years ago. I don't even know yet. But 100% I'm certain that I did discover it before. And I thought, this is pretty important. So I made a note of it and I promoted it. Now, it's like so important. And I encourage you to watch that movie. But I just encourage you to listen to what I had to say. That sometimes you get some knowledge and you got to wait for it. You will eventually understand that that's not just a little bit important. It's super, super important, and it's going to change the access that you have to your destiny. So wait for it. Just sit. You don't know when it's going to come up. I mean, because today, if you go over 100 things, what was this about? What was this about? You could try to review. You could try to jumpstart. You could try to speed up the process. But what I'm telling you is the natural flow of it is that it will just come up at some point. Because there's so many things. I'm not saying that this is the only thing that happened to me this week, but you get these things that like they're little Easter eggs or they're little it's just something that like a game, like a treasure hunt game. It just reveals itself to you, and you saw it for a while, and you didn't know, and all of a sudden it was like boop. And by the way, I'm going to end on this a really beautiful thing that a really beautiful thing that I discovered recently was the daffodils, the first daffodils that I've seen. And by the way, this is not all my stuff out here. This stuff was here before I got here. But do you see that? Do you see the daffodils? Right there, right there, daffodils. That's the sign of the season, and just wait